concluded that the main Senate adjourned third session today. We are able to use members of the press for telling the stories of good and bad from January to today. Passed 27 bills in that period. The Senate sat for 56 days, confirmed 59 presidential nominees, and denied all the nominees. The President was still one. Today also the Senate concurred with the House of Representatives on the passage of the national budget. The Ministry of Planning and Development, Ministry of Finance and Development Planning proposed a budget of US 535 452 173 billion.
Calling out to him for the video meeting.
570 million 151 173. It's important to note that there was no increment in compensation of lawmakers in this budget. As you know, last budget year we got 30% of our compensation, and that remains this year. Copies of my statement, and we don't have my COS to give it to you. And I start here to entertain questions or clarification from you.
So I take ABC, I take front page. The first two questions, then I take PNTV. So ABC.
Yeah. My name is Jackson, and I write for ABC Radio. During the year under review, Senator Pro-tempore, what can you remember as the most challenging time, and what can you point to as some of the achievements?
The most challenging time is obvious that several times when we begin with COVID, we tried to come. It was difficult. We met, and probably we started saying maybe we'll go Zoom, but we took the courage and came. And I can confirm none of my colleagues were affected by COVID. So we saw through the period. And one of the great achievement was that by the end of last year, the economy was very strained. We promised the staff of the school to bring people that this year going to work along with the executive branch and the House of Representatives to make sure that the budget and financial situation come on screen. And also confirm that, as you can see, there's no complaint from anywhere that civil servants are getting paid on time. So those are two.
Front page,
Yeah.
PNTV.
Brother, my name is Henry Kamogo. I work for Company. So, contrary to maybe other things, I want to know, as usual, per your practice since you begin pro-tempore of the Senate, we didn't hear you name the Senate of the Year today.
Yeah, I think I did only one.
Yeah, why?
And
Is it that none of your colleagues performed?
no, all my senators did well. I probably was so busy with other things I didn't take my time to do that. Maybe I will look at them and probably do that before. It's not late yet.
Okay, PNTV, Farwa Musa, before come to budget and go to spoon FM and fabric.
Sir, my name is Pro-tempore Albert from TV Liberia. In the course of your own leadership here as the Liberian Senate, can you specifically tell the Liberians what is the different mark so far? What difference under your leadership has the Senate reached out to?
Well, you know the responsibility of the Senate on lawmaking, oversight, advocacy. And if you see how the country is going, all the achievements that have been made in this government, the Senate has a major role to play. If you see roads have been constructed, if you see salaries have been paid, if you see people have been taken care of in health, you see schools are open, children are going to school, the university now, education is free. All that have to do with our role in the legislature. Because those things are targeted by us. Because government spends no dime without our approval. And augmented by our oversight over the executive. So clearly, you can see without us, such achievement will not be realized.
So, take fabric and spoon and come to Musa.
Okay. All right, brother. My name is Aaron Kuba. I report for Fabric Radio. Just few hours ago, you ran down a guilty verdict against the APN terminal, and you sentenced them to community service at the William V.S. Stockman High School. You promised to give details, maybe a few hours to come, concerning what will that community service entails. You care to give us details on that?
Yes, later on today I'll be meeting with some first section of the leadership, and we'll discuss that. Once we discuss that, in the next few days you'll get to know. I can't be here, but I have to consult with the leadership the details.
So, Musa, you come to tell us what happened.
Thank you so much. I just want to ask 3 questions.
Charles?
Yes.
Go ahead.
The first one is just for clarity. I just want to clarify the situation with your staff's salaries that was ongoing and it stayed in the public. Just clarity for the public now. That's the first one. The second one is the last election, midterm election, 15 senators went, 2 came back. And there was this discussion that the Senate was going to work, and it showed that the next time everybody come back. So how is it also, what is it that you've been hearing from the police, and what's your view on that? The last one is the security situation. In recent time, there has been concern about security situation after the death of at least 4 persons from LRA and the RDA. You as a reporter, what's your position on the security situation?
Okay, so on the staffers issue, we value the services of our staffers. Out there, when we achieve, as I said today, what we have achieved. And the issue of harmonization came, and salaries were harmonized. So what Mr. Finance did was to cut off the component of all public servants. And that affected our staffers. And for us, that affected us too. But further, we cut our salaries and compensation, and we passed that to the staffers, hoping that would have filled a gap. Unfortunately, that gap was not filled. What we cut to do was more, a little bit over $500,000. And what we were taking away was about $1 million. So that gap remained. And so that's the situation. Right now we are trying to review the payroll to see where there's padding. We hope that we can get some money to augment the salaries of our staff. And the next issue was
The election.
yeah, the elections. What I said today that for us we have worked. Senators who have spent 9 years have worked. They engage the constituency. But you can appreciate the fact that the term is 9 years. And most democracies term are 4 years. So 9 years is 2 full terms plus 1 extra year. So that makes it challenging to get re-election. Because I don't care what you do, the people figure, oh, you spend 9 years there. So that is negative already before we start campaigning. But I'm hoping that more than 2 senators will return this time. More than 2 senators will return. I'm very sure we're going to do it. The security situation, so I will have a press conference there on that. But so our borders are still firm. If you look at our neighbors, elections are taking place in Guinea, Sierra Leone, Guinea, Cote d'Ivoire, even a little bit further to Ghana. And so we are keeping an eye on the situation there. Internally, there have been some protests, that is normal. But I think internally, those who are not experts, we can say that the security situation is not that. Because I believe you can walk freely around the country, you can drive freely around. But recently there have been some deaths. Some of it coincidental. But we wait until we get the reports from the investigations. Once in the Central Zago, give a press conference on the security situation, I know he was going to detail.
Did you observe? Front and women.
Yeah, further you gave us the number of important bills we have passed. But in most cases, often there have been bills that were not passed. Can you give us the number of important bills that were not passed?
All the important bills were passed.
Or what? Do you have any bill in committee room, important bill in committee room?
All bills are important.
How many bills do you have in committee room?
I will not be able to tell, so we can get a number from Federal Senate later. We'll see him. But so the bills that in the committee rooms are normally bills that we're creating statutory districts within cities and so forth. For most, the other bills were passed.
So I take prime, I take 3 more persons, and then we.
No, then ask the question.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. So my name is Tropo Refu and I work for Prime. The last time we witnessed the appearance of former Minister Wilson Carpet, the issue about the stimulus package. What last message do you have as the Senator John?
Yes, so we are concerned also with the slow pace of the food distribution, especially. The government from the beginning, along with our partner, decided that our food program would have been the best vehicle to use. So they've done that in the past. Because, private sector can be more effective than the government. And we thought that the WFP had an infrastructure. So we are a little bit disappointed at the slow pace of the WFP in the food distribution. The Senate went out. Because now the families are coming that there are bar rolls and all the excuses. So the Senate cited again the WFP along with the steering committee. And now we are close, so the leadership will be citing those people to new leadership so we can find out what the real problem with the WFP. What the problem about it.
Yes, I can account with
Certainly.
So, another read?
Yeah.
John.
So my name is Ada Reese. I represent Women's TV. Women's TV is a new online platform that promotes women across the country, ensuring that the news are gender sensitive. So if Senator Zako talks about how the road can be built to benefit, people, we should also go to the women's side, ask them what they think about the road that Senator Zako talked about. So this is why exactly Women's TV was established. I listened to you when you were learning your progress report and talking about all the things that happened on the period. And you talk about the Senate placing $1 million in the budget to be able to amend the $2 million that the president earlier.
As part of the $2 million.
Okay, as part of the $2 million the president talked about. So using your oversight as a pro-tem, what kind of assurance can Liberian women get to ensure that that money that was, generated from the Liberian people, tax that will be used for the internal purpose?
Yes, so we, as I said, that we request the Senate to concur with the President on the proclamation that of being an emergency. And we feel strongly on women's program, especially violence against women, gender-based violence. So the President made a pledge of $2 million in the $2 million. Money can be expended without being budgeted. So we have a budget that money. So we budgeted $5 million. By the next few months we'll budget another million. And that'll make it $2 million to start with. And using our oversight, because that money will be placed, they will not rest with the legislature, they will rest with the executive. I think the Ministry of Gender, the Ministry of Health, they are managing it. So through our oversight, we will seek quarterly reports and progress reports to make sure that money was spent for the intended purpose. And you are around too. We challenge you to also follow that, to follow the progress of those committees.
Yes, Senator, my name is Titus, and I'm with Joy. A few minutes ago, you just outlined the report with respect to plenary decision regarding the APN terminal. The reason why APN terminal was brought there was only account of the job worker, but the Senate plenary did not make decision relative to the worker, and you said that decision will be made shortly. Why is it that the plenary could not reach the point of making decision on behalf of the job worker?
So the Senate went through committees. So we sent that complaint to the Committee on Labor. And the Committee on Labor made a report suggesting that we should refer the matter back to the Ministry of Labor. The plenary overruled that report because we got information that the Labor Ministry had made some decisions and told APN Terminal to enforce those decisions, and those decisions not be enforced yet. That's what brought the complaint here. So we only agreed for the complaint to go back to the Ministry of Labor. So because we are close, plenary decided that those complaints would be listened to by leadership, and they should take that decision. So leadership will not make this decision. So we'll take next week to look at the complaints and make a decision.
Yeah, I did it from.
So, President, my name is Ayi Davis. My concern had to do with the pending elections. Of recent, there have been a lot of hate messages been going around from people that expected to contest in the election. And those people that are going into the election, that they are your colleagues. You as a person, what specific messages do you have to give them as it relates to the peace and stability of the election? And
when you say hate messages, can you give an example?
Like some Facebook posts threatening that when they throw stone, we will throw stone back.
So I think Senator has withdrawn that statement.
Yeah.
And we know during elections are not easy. Everybody's on attention. Imagine you spending your time to see re-elections, and you have each country, most countries, not less than 8-9 candidates. So the pressures are on the candidates. So we expect that they will make some strong statements, but at the same time, we expect that they will guard their statements so as not to endanger the peace and security of this country. Because to the followers too, everybody is vulnerable. If you make inflammatory statement, your followers could take it out of context and do some other things. So today we call on all candidates or all aspirants to be cautious at the threat and
at the end, people as that view, they are asking why the Senate confirmed the Labor Minister after he was having rejected 3 times. When the first person asking the question, will you mind addressing it?
He was not rejected 3 3 times. One time it was withdrawn. On one occasion it was confirmed, if you remember, we also confirmed before as the chairman of the board of directors of the National Oil Company of Liberia. It was confirmed. So this is the second time we're confirming him. And it depends on which position you are nominated for. And we found him suitable for the position of Minister of Labor. That's what we're confirming.
So,
But you know that it's not the second time we're confirming him.
So I take OKFM.
Yeah. Well, my name is Yanti Tupa, report for OKFM. Well, basically there has been this concern from the public that during the first sitting, of course, that there was an arrangement where full bidding were being printed, and I think one of their colleagues raised a communication that there were a lot of mutilated banknote circulating on the Liberian market, but not much has been talked about. So would you like to comment on that? And then secondly, has there been any communication or from the level of the Central Bank of Liberia bringing to an attention of the Liberian Senate that despite the full bidding has already been printed, that they will also seek the bidding to increase on that amount, approximately 20 billion?
Yes, so the money supply in circulation in the excess of 25 billion Liberian dollars. 25 billion, what should be the money supply. And at the close of last year, remember, almost time like this, last year going to work Christmas, for a complete shortage of Liberian dollars in the conventional branch, don't get any money at all, even to the debt. When we felt that people were holding up to the money. So we did some assessment, whether at that time to print, we're going to print 30 billion or so. And because we felt that we bring 30 billion, that will curtail, that will put money in the market. And then we turn on inflation. So we determined that probably we need to try to see where there could be confidence placed in the banks, and people will carry the money we're holding back to the banks. And while doing that, another option was, while doing that, to augment that, we thought we would print a little bit amount, because over time money has been mutilated and no more in the market. So that 4 billion that was printed was not to replace mutilated funds, but to augment the money supply. So that was printed. So as we see, there's actually a need to print a set of currency to replace all the mutilated. So it has been assessed that approximately probably will need between 30 to 50 billion. But then again, the cost of printing is very expensive. So we are still weighing that, where we get money from to print. The best thing to do is to print new money and take away all the mutilated money, and that will take care of it. But then to print is very expensive. So that assessment is still being made. So to find a source of the money. Yes, there's a need to print money. Because 4 billion can't do anything, and there's a need to replace 25 billion. So the cost of the printing is the issue.
I think you got more news I can carry from.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Follow up from.
Follow up. So our project, are you confirming that the CBL has communicated with the Senate on the printing of more Liberian dollars?
Because before, remember last year, before we determine the 4 billion, there was a request to us. Even when we read the letter, you remember, they were requesting to print about 35 billion.
New banknotes.
Yeah, new banknotes, remember? Yeah, we just had a discussion. But first we were considering the cost of printing. Say, it's too expensive to print. Even the 4 billion, if you look at it, it's all in 500s, because it's cheaper to print the big bills. Yeah, you get more out of it. That's why I make it. That was the new 4 billion. You didn't see $100. You didn't see 50. You didn't see 5. You didn't see 10. The cost of printing is the issue. But the request has been here a long time.
So ABC, you want to do a follow-up?
Yeah, right. Yeah. Not the money printing. But it's this issue, Senator, you come to the Capitol building almost every day and you pass from the entrance before reaching here. Are you not seeing the manner of form, the various counties' flag is being mutilated and rejected? What are your thoughts?
The last time I remember pushing those flags was just yesterday. You know, we got some well-killed or new lapel, new pins for the various counties. So we're trying to figure out which flag belong to which county. And so two on we look there, so I flag them mutilated. And I can tell you that probably last month I gave money, so I don't know what's going on, whether the breeze and the tail flies easily. So I think that was the issue just last month. Yeah, just last month. I won't tell you who I gave the money to, just last month. Just yesterday, I trying to find which kind of where. So I go through my window and say, see how flies looking. As a percent, I just gave money last month. So I assume that's the breeze. I'll find out.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, so just one last question before we leave. I'm concerned about this issue of lawmakers in one chamber hoping towards the Senate during election period. And as a country, we're grappling with this issue of our economy. The budget is competing. We have a competing priority with our revenue envelope. What is your thought? And what is your thought with respect to seated lawmaker hoping to another chamber to be elected as one? And is the Senate looking in a direction for future that they will make a law that will not allow lawmakers seated already to hop to the Senate in terms of election?
Yeah, so there's nothing in the Constitution that says that. But last year, we recall, after the President annual message, we went to China. That was the cause of my message. I said it there. I said, I don't support people from the House of Representatives coming over to the Senate to seek election, because if they win, there's an economic consequence for by-election. But on the other side, yes, we attempted to pass a law here. It was drafted, we were debated. But then we are constrained by the Constitution. There's not a constitution that stopped that. How can we? There's a consequence, there's a concern.
You still don't support that?
I don't support that. I have no choice to accept. I don't support that. Yeah, I don't support that, because while the Constitution does not stop that, but when you look at the responsibilities, seem to be the same. Same lawmaking, same oversight, and looking at our economic situation. See how we are struggling to hold the election because of financial constraints. See how we are joining the two representative seats from Sando and Monserrato to join with December 8th senatorial. Clearly, we are constrained with financial issues.
So, Etel, Newton.
Yeah, Senator, I'm Etel and I rep for Newton. That means we are not in support of Representative Fala's senatorial bill.
I totally support Senator Fala to be senator of Monserrato County.
How do you reconcile your points? That you don't support
that individual you are referring to. Individual is different from what the Constitution says or what is experienced. Totally, Senator Fala, then Representative Fala is from my party of CDC. I totally support him.
But then, a few months ago, Senator Dillon presented a communication seeking for lawmaker gross salary to be reduced to $5,000. What's the status of that communication? And as a senator, do you agree with Senator Dillon's quest to reduce lawmaker salary?
Me and you know in your party that what's represented is just for politics. You know Senator Dillon is serious with that party. You know Senator Dillon needs more than $5,000 to survive as senator. And you know, it's not because of re-election, Senator, they won't have been that bill. Me and you know that.
Thank you so much.